There are two purposes to category mapping in Easy CSV Importer. The first one is to avoid creating extra categories where category terms and their data are slightly different from those already in our blog, and there can be the scenario where neither can be changed. The second purpose is post creation itself, ensuring posts go into categories you autoblog using Easy CSV Importer and into categories that already exist, and that basically means that we're following the mapping options that the user sets up during post creation as well. This video, however, focuses strictly on the category creation. I'm going to show you how to set up the category mapping, but then I'm going to show you how Easy CSV Importer avoids creating the extra categories that you do not want created, and instead recognizes the categories already in your blog. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is show you the categories I already have in the blog. I've tried to keep it simple, and what we have here are three categories not including the default uncategorized. Now, the first one is AA1, second is BB2, and the third is CC3. The CC3 is a child of BB2, and normally BB2 would be a child of AA1. That is how my data is laid out. Now, the difference between these categories and the actual category terms in my data is that there is no double capital letter. So my data has A1, B2 and C3. So I've made this slight difference to show and prove that this slight difference can be an issue and that we can get around it and so on. And I've also deliberately avoided making BB2 a child of AA1 just to show the behaviour and that your original categories can have an effect on the overall outcome, and that we may need to play around with things a little, or you may need to contact us to discuss your specific needs. But in the most case, it's quite easy to achieve what we need. Now I'm just going to go back to the plugin and begin creating categories. My project is WTG-TSB, and I'm going to go to advanced settings. Let's just take a quick look at the overall settings. We have categories here. I have 3 levels set up. I already have a video covering these and a video that explains applied levels. We have select category description. This isn't applicable in this video, so we'll just skip past that. And what I do already have set up is my mapping, and I'm keeping it very simple. I don't have many categories, as you've seen, and what I'm doing is I'm matching up my A1 within my data to the existing AA1, sorry. So I'm basically saying that I don't want to use the A1 within my data as a category. Instead, I want any posts that are meant to be applied to that category to go into AA1, and therefore I both do not create an A1 category and posts go into AA1. But not only that, if we scroll down, we have category level 2, and here we have a list of the distinct values within the column selected for level 2. If we just scroll up, the level 2 column is up here. It's cat2. So I have a column named cat2, and the plugin establishes all the distinct, that is, the unique values within that column, and those are here. So the second level has B, and the third level has C, and they increment 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 per row, and I have 9 rows. What I've done is I've set up, as you've seen, a BB2, and I've paired them, and that's the only mapping I'm doing on the second level. And the same goes for the third. I'm only doing one mapping on the third level. But remember the difference in the relationships, and that the actual BB2 is not a child of AA1, as all other categories will be. So A2 and A3 and so on, they will be parents. And if I just scroll down here, you've got B3, B4 and so on. They will be children of the first level categories. And the rest of the level 3 categories, other than the one mapped, will be, sorry, all of the level 3 categories will be children also. Now I'm just going to begin creating categories, and to do that we just go to prepare blog and click on create level 1 categories. I'll just come up to categories and refresh the screen. I'm just going to make sure that we do have all categories on display. Sometimes some of them are hidden, and this is what we do to make them show up. Just create and delete a category, refresh the screen. Right, now so we have just what we expect, apart from, well sorry, we do expect the A1 category not to be created. In normal circumstances we would have, if we never done any mapping, we would have a category here called A1. As you can see, that does not exist. What we do have is the AA1, and therefore the plugin Easy CSV Importer has recognised that the mapping has been set up for that category. Let's go ahead and create another level. I'll just refresh that. I'll do my little thing again. This time I have to, because I can actually tell some are hidden. So we'll just create a quick category, delete that, and refresh the screen. And here we have children, a whole lot of children appearing. And we have B1, this is correct. It goes A, B, C through the levels, and the numbers need to match. So it's 8, 8, 5, 5, 4, 4. This is exactly what I expect, all the way down and so on. If I just scroll up, what we're looking at and needing to confirm is that B1 has become a child of AA1. Now if I never had an AA1 category and I never mapped it, then this would be A1. So this is showing that the child B1 is getting the same treatment as it would if it didn't do any mapping, and that's important. One more level of categories. Click on categories again. Actually I just need to make a test, get those categories shown. Now this is something that WordPress does, and it happens in a lot of these plugins, most of them I think. It's like a cache thing. Now I've pretty much done the same as what I'd done when I created the second level. As you can see, the third level that begins with C have become children of the second level. So 1, 1, 1, 8, 8, 8 and so on. So that's fine, that's great, that's exactly what you expect. All looks good and it will look good, but there's a slight difference in behaviour that you have to look out for when you done what I done. I set up BB2 as a parent in itself, and so what we have here is, sorry, I set up not just BB2 as a parent, but I set up CC3 under that. So one of the categories that I needed to map to was the final level and a child. What has happened here is we have BB2 and then C2, which is absolutely correct. But then what we have here is the CC3 remaining, and obviously that's incorrect. So what we should have is A3, B3 and then CC3. Because I set that up manually, that wouldn't be corrected. Alright? Now let me just make this very clear, just in case you're confused. I manually set up this category, CC3, and what we notice is that the little group here, which is number 3, levels 1, 2, and then normally there would be a level 3, just like we have A6, B6 and C6. We don't have an A3, B3 and C3. And we don't have that C3 because C3 exists elsewhere under BB2. Alright, so that's a behaviour that we have at the moment. This behaviour is not always correct for everybody, and sometimes we need to change that. That's absolutely fine. So it's just a case of contacting us and discussing exactly how things are turning out for you when you're doing it, and then we can make the required changes and apply what you need, and that's that. So as you can see, it is possible to do the mapping, and if you are interested in ensuring that your posts go to the correct categories, that will be done in another video. Just try looking at the playlist or searching in YouTube for post mapping, something like that. The video will be named. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Right, just one more thing. I'm appending this recording to the initial video, so I did end it, and then I decided I needed to edit it a little, because I'm not sure if I made it very clear that this was a deliberate mistake right here, where we have BB2 and CC3, because this doesn't suit the uniformal approach I took in my own data. As we can see here, we have A6, B6 and C6, but down here we have basically what would originally have been B2 and C3. That's what, you know, sorry, in my data it would be B2 and then C2, sorry. And I think I possibly said that incorrect, or I just never explained it in a way that points out that this is a deliberate mistake, and if done, this is what can trip things up. And this is why we have the second category under this second level is C2, which is correct. And I'm pointing out that the plugin does not avoid creating this category simply because this one here exists and this one is mapped. The mapping itself works through category IDs, and that is what I failed to mention in my initial recording. It goes by category ID, so you could have as many categories called CC3 as you wish, and they could be parents, level 2, level 3 childs and so on. But when Easy CSV Importer is creating categories, it will go by the ID. It doesn't matter where you've put the categories, it all comes down to ensuring that you map the correct categories and so on. And that is that. That's all I wanted to make clear. And if it still confuses you, just please go to the forum, strike up a thread and we'll get talking. Alright, thank you very much.